Alright, I think that our cameras are set and we have to be going live at this moment. Good evening, dear followers of Oku in Focus, wherever you are and watching us at this particular time. We want to extend special greetings to you, hoping that you all had a wonderful day. We are so grateful, we are so thankful that actually this time we are going to have a program as we earlier indicated, and so far I can already see some 2 persons, 3 persons and other persons who are joining us at this time. And today it is a very special day, an important day which is never going to be forgotten. As you all know, we must know our past so as to know how we can face the future, and to do so we must always get in touch with those who have done the research, those who have experience, and those who have facts. A lot has been said about Oku in terms of history, and of course, as we indicated some time ago, people change it to suit them in various ways. And you know that history remains history. History can never be changed. Today, you are all going to know about Oku. What is that you're going to know? You are going to know about how the Oku people migrated before they finally settled where they are today. And just to remind you, I want to say that you should come online and share the video, because when we have many of you watching, we are of course going to get straight to the program. But before that, we will be indicating that Oku in Focus is a platform that is aimed at promoting the culture of the Oku people, a platform that is aimed at informing people on happenings in and out of Oku, a platform that is aimed at promoting the talents of Oku youth, as well as all good things that happen in Oku. Of course, we're also there to see how we can put our efforts in pushing development ahead. And so, dear people of Oku, wherever you are, please share this video, let it go viral, because we have an important message to pass to you wherever you are. And any moment from now, we are going to be introducing our guests to you. We can see many of you joining. Please, when you join, please try to share. Yes, Princess Ngum Bachim in USA. Thank you for watching. We are happy and we hope that you are going to share to other platforms. First of all, Oku is not a small clan, it's not a small tribe, it's a big tribe, and the history is quite huge, so that we need to take some days to analyze. We are going to take 3 days to analyze the history of Oku with a specialist, someone who has taken time to study and know what Oku is really about. And we have to divide into 3 parts. The first part, we are going to be handling the migration of the Oku people. The second part, we shall get to know the origin of the name Oku. And thirdly, we shall get to know how Oku integrated with the various societies. Today is a special day, as we did indicated. My name is Nathaniel. You know me very well. You know, on the background, I have other persons. I have the brain. He's a cultural artist from Oku, and he has tried his best at all angles to promote the culture through music, and I will believe you need to support him so that he can make Oku proud. Again, I also have Ngangwa Gabriel. He has been behind me wherever I go. He's a young man from Oku who feels that he needs to put in his efforts. He needs to put his best to see that Oku becomes at the top. Any moment from now, we are going to introduce to you our special guest. As you saw on our flyer, you must have known his name, his picture. But if I don't have many views or many viewers here, I'm afraid I might not tell you who he is. So ladies and gentlemen, please come online, share the video as we are about to start. We must equally indicate that we are right in Yaoundé, and this shows how optimistic we are to know about our history. Oku in Focus, we are everywhere. We are in Oku, we are in Cameroon, we are in Africa, and we are all over the world to make sure that we bring to you vital information that you need to know. You all know that wherever there is lack of information, Rome will take the pride of place, and it is quite dangerous. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to waste your time. We are going to introduce to you our guest this evening. Our guest this evening is a son of the soil, someone who has studied so hard, someone who has gone far as education is concerned, and he knows where he can enter to give you what you actually need. In fact, before we begin, we want to say Dr. Ntaima is someone we have followed him closely, and if we are today with him in Yaoundé, it is because we have noticed that among all the Oku sons that we come across, he has proven himself to be up to the task, the way he answers questions, the way he talks about Oku. In fact, it's someone who can talk about Oku from family to family, everything. In fact, I've been amazed following him. And that is why I could not waste time to contact him to have him on this platform today. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be giving a pride of place to my guest to introduce himself. Good evening, Daddy. You're welcome.
Good evening, and thank you for visiting me this evening.
All right. We like to have your self-introduction. Who is Dr. Ntaima Peter?
Mr. Dr. Peter Ntaima is a medical anthropologist. I hold a PhD in anthropology, and presently I'm working at the National Civil Registration Office, BUNEC, where I am Director of Archives and Statistics. Concerning our field of study this evening, I've studied several aspects of Oku culture, and I actually did research in Oku on the conservation of medicinal plants in 1997. Then after that, I met with our late Fon III. Through our conversation, he said I had just much to offer, and I decided to go into a kind of intensive research about Oku. And that is why this evening I think it's important for us to share these facts. To begin with.
Yes, before we begin, we would like to actually appreciate you in a special way for accepting to welcome Oku in Focus. You know, not everyone will be ready to talk, and not everyone will be ready to welcome media at this time. So we appreciate Dr. Ntaima for being able and for accepting to share to the world the knowledge he has about Oku. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as we earlier indicated, we are going to begin straight away to know how did the Oku people migrate. We are going to hear from Dr. Ntaima.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nathaniel. As I was about to say, we are going to be talking about the production of knowledge scientifically. And here we have four specialists that come in. We have those who are knowledgeable, that is those who are key information holders. They are not you, they are not me. They are our people in the village, and even some of the time, most of them do not know how to read and write, but they have knowledge. These are people who have knowledge. The second group of people are intellectuals. They make knowledge knowledgeable, information, data that they collect knowledgeable, and that is where I fall. The third category of people are those who are able to communicate knowledge, and that is where you fall in. The fourth category of people are those who use knowledge. We have teachers, we have also researchers, we have those who are engaged in development, and they use knowledge. That is why we make sure to communicate exactly what is gotten from research, not I hear say.
Now, we have to communicate what is gotten from research. Is it possible to do research on a history and have different outcomes?
It is possible.
And then how do we get the best outcome?
There is something we call that is in anthropology, we talk about triangulation of data. That you have to have data from various sources, you confront them, then the truth comes out. As I said, if you go to people who are knowledgeable, they will give you facts that have never been written somewhere. We need also to go to secondary sources, secondary data sources, to get data from there and confront data that comes from primary sources before we may be able to state for people to consume.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Without any waste of time, Doctor, we are going to go straight away into the main matter this evening. We'd like to know, how did the Oku people begin migration?
Okay, thank you very much, Nathaniel. I would like to situate where we are coming from.
Yes.
Yeah, the Oku people, as most of the people in the western grass fields, actually migrated from what we call the Bankim area. We just say Tikari, and people actually are satisfied with it. Let me tell you that within the upper Mbam River, there was a civilization, and that civilization was not really documented, and that is the Rifum dynasty, which was very powerful, and you can only compare it with what we used to call in anthropology and history the Black Byzantine. The Black Byzantine is found in Nigeria, around the Nupe area, central Nigeria, and it was well documented by the British. But unfortunately, our own dynasty was not documented. What we just know was that it was a powerful kingdom, and at a certain level, people were migrating. So by 1200, right up to 1300, this particular dynasty was disintegrating. The Rifum dynasty was disintegrating. And as a powerful empire, one of the causes of the disintegration was a succession problem. There was a time when the king of Rifum died.
We would like to know the tribes that were made up of the Rifum dynasty.
As I earlier said, all of the west region, what we call Bamileke, actually came up from there. Yes. The Bamuns came up from there. With us in Bui division, you know, the various tribes in Bui division, except Noni, that is a Chamba community that originated from, that is the Chamba origin from northern Nigeria and migrated into where we are. Okay. All the tribes of Bui division actually came out from this reform. Okay. The last to have migrated into what we call today West region is Bafusam, and is traditionally called Fusep. That's the last to have come out of that area. As I told you, it was a very great empire, densely populated, and at a given time, there was this succession problem where each prince now actually wanted to be king or emperor, and it didn't happen, and most of them migrated and moved to the northwest, moved to the west, and even to the center, because the Bafia people actually migrated from that origin. Okay, as you know, there was this struggle, that is succession struggle or squabble at Rifum around 1300, where a younger brother called Nchari Jen succeeded. His elder brother was Nso, and according to our tradition, it is the elder brother that succeeds. But it happened that Nchari Jen succeeded, and he was the younger brother to Nso. And there was infighting. It went to a certain dimension when Nso had to migrate. Nso moved, crossed the river, and settled.
So
from Rifum, crossed a river and actually settled. One of the brothers was sent to capture him and bring him back, because he had carried along the royal paraphernalia, which is, we know, things of the palace. He had carried them along. So could not capture Nso, because after crossing the river, Nso destroyed the bridge with his people. Mmegen was afraid that if he goes back to the king in Chari and narrated that he has not captured Nso, they would think he might have actually teamed up with him to escape. Now he descended and actually established his own kingdom towards what we call today Fumban, the Bamum dynasty. After crossing the bridge, Nso stayed there for long. Later on discovered that the place was still very open to attack. They migrated now to what we call in Uku Kokofum and in So Kovifum. They settled there, established another dynasty that was very, very powerful. After so many years, the same problem that actually drove them out of Rifum resurfaced, this problem of succession. And in the struggle, one of the princes migrated out of what the present-day Cameroon and settled in Takum in Nigeria. Tata remained. There was a younger brother called Nso who remained, and their only sister who was called Jene. Tata is actually the person who founded Uku. The younger brother Nso founded the So community, and Jene, that was the only sister to them, founded what we call today the Mbiame community. So how did it happen? Tata, being the eldest, traditionally he was supposed to be the king. But unfortunately...
The king of?
The king of Kokofum.
Kokofum. Where the Nso escaped to?
Where the person who was migrating, that is, his name was Nso, where he came and established...
So Nso at that time was a name of a person?
It's a name of a person.
All right, all right.
He established a dynasty. And as I told you, Nso gave birth to the person who actually established the present Takum in Nigeria. He gave birth to Tata, who actually established Oku. Gave birth to Nso, who established the Nso community, and Jene, who established Mbiame.
All right.
This is the history.
All right.
So, as I said, unfortunately, Tata was a hunter and was moving most of the time out of Kovifum. When the king died, he was still in his hunting expedition. And so, being a musician, that younger brother who used to entertain people around the royal court, he was enthroned as son. Tata came back from the hunting expedition and discovered that the younger brother was already on the throne. Actually, he was disturbed. He agitated, rallied people behind him, a sizable population behind him, and they left. The mother also followed, who later on then saw Uku Ambiame, actually named her Jefon. The mother followed because he could not allow Tata just go like that. So how was the movement? I was told when they left Kovifum, they moved to what is called today Kakaikom. On their movement, Tata caught a leopard, and by tradition he could not eat it. He sent it back to the person who was occupying the throne. Though according to Tata, he was a pretender, a usurper. When the leopard came, he said he cannot eat any animal from Tata, and the animal was brought back to him. He said, if this is the way things are, as I am going, I am separating from this kingdom, and I am no more part of it. And he went away with his own people. We are informed they came out around Maluf, migrated up to Tadu, settled around Tadu, and were moving down to Lassen most of the time doing their farming. That community was not at peace, or they were not feeling at ease with their proximity with the Nso younger brother at Kovifum. They then migrated to what is called today Vekovi, Reko in Uku, and they went down to Babisi. By then, the Babisi people were not yet there. So they settled in the plain, started cultivating the plain, and moving up to the mountain time and again for hunting. At a given point in history, the Babisi people came, joined them, they were like one community. Time had passed, hearts had softened, the spirit of communication was therefore emerging, and so sent emissaries to Babisi to tell the younger brother to come back to Kovifam. Tata said he cannot come back to Kovifam, considering what happened. Again, after some time, the same saw who was the king of Kovifam by then, sent another group of people to tell Tata that if he is not willing to come back to Kovifam, he should at least leave the plain and migrate up the mountains, because it is not good that he should be living with strange people, people with doubtful character. This is now when Tata gathered his people, and they were migrating now towards the mountain. They came to a place which is called Jefonopen, and we are informed that is where the mother died. There are several versions about the death of Jefon. One variant actually states that Jefon decided to follow Tata because she has stayed for long without meat caught by Tata. So she decided to follow Tata. And she went into the mountain and was moving from one cave to another until it came to a cave that was just evacuated, or that cave showed signs of life. She went into the cave, and unfortunately she died there. Other hunters that were coming, they buried her and sent information to Tata that their mother is dead and buried. Peace plants were actually erected there to recognize her tomb. Another variant states that Jefon died during the migration of Tata from Babisi to Oku, and that she died at a place called Jefonopon, just behind Ngwenkekumon. What is certain is that that place is spotted out as the hill of the Queen's mother, Jefonopon. Tata had to migrate through the forest, the thick forest, and we cannot actually trace the path he took before coming to mainland Oku. But we are informed he came and made another sizable population already living in Oku, divided into several clans, the Bzung, the Mbulum, and Dentul, that were actually the royal family that was ruling. That he came and made them at Loy and asked them, where is the palace? They said the palace was Dambam. He said he would like to see their king.
Was the palace Anbam at that time?
Yes, the Ntul Palace.
Anbam,
but the population was upland. The population was around Loy, around Bo, around Kasotin and Ntul.
And they had the palace
bed down, very separated from the people. This migrating population, that is Jefon's children, or Kokofum, people of the Kokofum dynasty, said, no, we must go down and meet your fon, your king. They went down, presented several gifts to the king. The king was surprised. They were very polite. They stayed with the king and was complaining that his kingdom was poorly organized. Later on, they advised him, please, can you move up to the mountain, to where the population is? You are living very far away from your people. How do you govern them? Then the king of Mtul actually acknowledged that the newcomers were well organized. By that time, the palace was at a place called Chiluk in Bam. He advised that they should move again towards the cliffs where attack cannot be possible. That is Tanko. When they came to Tanko...
Tanko in which area?
Tanko, just around the Tongbang area.
All right, yes.
Yeah. When they came to Tanko, the name Tanko means the area where they decided who is supposed to wear what, who is supposed to construct using which architecture, who is supposed to be doing what within the community. This is an idea that came from the migrating population. Tang in Oku, you understand now?
Yes.
Yes. So that is where they actually decided how the society is supposed to be organized. From there, these Kokofon people advised the king again to come up and join the community.
They should leave Tanko.
They should leave Tanko, come up and join the community at Lui, at Mbo, at Kesoten, at Ntul. So they came up and they erected a palace at Ikal. Later on, they said Ikal was still exposed to invaders, and they decided to cross the fast-flowing river Mi, because by then that river was thick, was flowing. It is not now that with this the degradation of environment that it is a tiny stream. They crossed the river and settled. That was the palace, the palace from Oku.
Now, please, what must have caused a fund to abandon his people somewhere and then be staying far away?
I think when we look at the geography of the area, it was like they thought descending the cliff was like hiding. But they actually separated the community, that is the palace from the community. Okay. So while Adab came, there was this kind of, how can I term it? Infant mortality was too high. And then somebody advised the fund to move up to what we call Ntoretin. Yeah, they moved up to Ntoretin now. And Ntoretin was somebody's compound. He was of the Dzi clan. When they settled there, there was a kind of population boom. Children were not dying, and they said it was the right place for the palace. So, when we come back now to where they originated, that is Kovefam.
Yes, and you mentioned about Oku. We have heard some mystical stories about Oku, a stone. They said there was a stone somewhere.
Yeah, that was Tampa Road during
that was Tampa Road.
Road construction.
Yes.
Yes, it was mystical. And they had to bring back that stone.
What was mystical about the stone?
They said they carried the stone and along the way it could turn into what? A snake, or it could stand up or something frightening. And the people were not, they were disturbed.
Right.
And they had to bring
back the stone. All right.
So I was coming back again to Kovefon.
Yes. To
let you people understand one thing. And I don't know why people twist information to that level. The Kovefon dynasty was a dynasty that actually collapsed. Then some people later on migrated from Kovefon, came down to Kimbo, where they met some remnant or population at the outskirts, the Nkar people. And some variants actually state that the Nzinzov people were already there. when somebody says the Nsor dynasty today is the continuation of Kovefum, he's distorting history, because the Kovefum dynasty collapsed. That is princes scattered. I talked about Takum in Nigeria, right?
Yes, yes.
Are the Nsor people controlling Takum in Nigeria? No. So the dynasty actually shattered into pieces, and so people moved out of it and descended to Kimbo, where they made the Nkal people. Actually conquered Nkal with their own tricks. Because what you should understand is that the Refum people or the Tikari people, wherever they move to, they must subdue and rule. That one is in their DNA. That is how they are. But for the Oku people, they made the Ntul people and decided to integrate into Ntul. This is the difference. There was no war in Oku. But in So, there was confrontation, and the Nkal people separated into various factions. There is Binkar in Kambe. There is Mbenkas in Lop. There is Nkar, even in Jikajem, Oku, Nkas. But with us in Oku, the Ntul people did not scatter. They remained on the spot. And there was this kind of integration between the visiting population and the Ntul to form a community. Even from there, around 1926, when you look at archives from Buya and right up to 1940-something, it states clearly that there was this, what was called band up, where the British had to group tribes there to ease administration. There were 13 tribes there, and so was not there, but Uku was there. You understand? And within the administrative unit that was in So, all the villages, all the communities of Bui division were there, but Uku was out of it. It was around 1948 when the Southeastern Federation was formed in Dop. By then, Papa Lenjo, who is of So origin, was the native administrative secretary in Dop. And actually they begged Uku to move out of Ndop so that Uku and So should form a sizable political unit.
So it is clear that Uku was independent and So was independent.
From beginning, that is how it has always been.
All right. You mentioned about the Ntul. Where did they come from?
What we know is that when we left Reform, came to Kokofum, and then came to Uku, we made the Ntul where they are today. It was already an established kingdom with their fund, with the clans of Zong, Umbulum, and then that is the Ntul, the ruling clan, the Ntul dynasty. We cannot, this is where there is paucity of data. We cannot state exactly where they came from because we made them where they are today. And again, it will be difficult for us even to understand the history of Ntul except we are inventing. We have tried, and nothing has gone beyond Bam Kontum. You understand? But we know the way the society was organized before what we call the Mbele people or Jeffon's children got integrated into that society. So it is still a hard nut to crack. Coming out, that is where the Ntul people came from.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, we would like to know exactly where the Okupa are settled today. How did they find themselves there? Just exactly the way it happened.
Yes, as I am saying, it is a little bit ambiguous when we talk about Oku people. That is why I continue to insist on Jeffon's children and Ntul people. Because these two make up Oku. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, Jeffon's children came following the migratory track that I have indicated and made them Ntul people. and the two merged to form Oku, which is now different from the other Kovifum people in So. Because Oku is a combination of Jefon's children from Kovifum or from Kokofum and Ntul.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. As we continue, there has been this pertinent issue which has raised a lot of dust. We have had arguments in all parts of the world. We'd like to know from you, what is the link historically between Oku, So, and Biama?
They are children from the same father and mother. They are related by blood. But they have moved, drifted apart, and formed communities that are independent from each other. You understand? If somebody lives in Saw today and comes to Uko and begin to claim that kind of blood relationship, he will not be comfortable because he may meet a tall man who doesn't know anything about Kovifum. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If somebody leaves Oku, moves down to Kumbu, and will be struggling to claim that type of blood relationship, he or she will be disappointed also because he will meet the Nkara people. Mm-hmm. He will meet people who have nothing completely to do with Kovifum. Mm-hmm. And again, the name Oku, Nso, and Biame can never be traceable to Rifum in the Upper Mbam region. These are names that came up later on for reasons we will explain in our subsequent discussions.
Yes. All right. So, clearly, we'd like to hear from you, Doctor. You are a specialist in this. You know, some people believe that maybe Oku is being controlled by So, or maybe Oku and Biama, they are controlled by So traditionally. How do you look at this? Historically, you have stated very clear that the So, Biama, and Oku, they were people from the same family, and they are already independent. Mm-hmm. Today we hear statements that maybe the fun of Oku is under the fun of So, or the fun of Biama is under the fun of So. How do you look at this?
No, traditionally, as I can say, there is no traditional business that is done at the level of the fondoms, where the fondom So officiates as a superior fund. It doesn't work. The fondom So cannot step into Mbiame and command. Unfortunately, Mbiame and So speak the same language. Fortunately, Uku actually forged a language that is different from So language. You understand? Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is that there is no traditional business where the fund of Uku is subservient to the fund of So. Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen. There was a time the fund of So was collecting royalties from Noni, mm-hmm, from all the tribes of Bui, except Mbiama and Oku. Mm-hmm. It has never happened.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. You have stated very clearly the origin of the Oku people, how they migrated and where they settled today. And I want to appreciate everyone that is watching us at this time. Remember, this is Oku in Focus, and we are there to bring to you authentic information. We can go to any area to make sure that you are being fed with the right information from the right source. Doctor is doing a great job. You can hear from him. He's explaining everything with facts, and we believe you out there, you're actually enjoying it and keeping us actually enjoying and saying in the comments section. Now, Doctor, I'd like to know if you are set for us to talk today on the origin of the name Oku. Could we discuss that today? Because like we're done with the first topic and
we can discuss.
All right. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we have actually known where Oku came from and where they settled and where they are today. And this time, the name Oku. How did Oku come to exist? Okay. Why was it not named Biama or someone else? What happened that we have the name Oku? Let's hear from Doctor.
Yeah, we have two variants of the origin of that name. But the two merge to one thing, that the name Oku is linked to Nso. It's a name of Nso origin. The first variant states that the Oku people and the Nso people, after having migrated out of Irifum, came to Kokifum or Kovifum, separated, at a given point in time, recognized that they were brothers, and there was this kind of reciprocity. Whenever there is need for a traditional house to be set up in Oku or Nso, following the traditional architecture, Oku people will mobilize, Nso people will mobilize, and they will meet where they are supposed to construct the house and then do the construction. We are informed that in one occasion, an Oku delegation came to Nso for the construction of a traditional house. After having worked from morning to evening, they were expected to be entertained. Entertainment was not coming. They pressured the Nso brothers to give them food, because the payment was on the food, entertainment, drinks, and things like that. Somebody retorted in Nso language that if you people are not satisfied, you can scrub the mud and go back to Oku, to your land, where you come from. The Oku delegation was very, very irritated and decided to scrub the mud from the walls they had erected from morning to evening. Then some people said, "Oh, we could laugh. Those who have scrubbed mud from the walls of the house, Viku."
Viku.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So Viku means those who have scrubbed mud from the walls of the house.
The name actually was Vikulaf. Those who have scrubbed mud from the walls of a building.
Kolav is house.
House.
Yes.
Okay. Later on, when since Oku was integrated with people from Kajem, the Ntul people, they could not even pronounce Viku. Their own corruption was Oku.
They pronounce Viku as Oku.
Oku. Okay. When the Germans came, they were even unable to pronounce Oku.
Yeah, continue. It's okay. Continue.
They were unable to pronounce Oku. And they brought up a simpler version, Oku. This is a German pronunciation of Oku.
All right.
Oku.
All right.
The second version of the story, as I said.
So it is clear that it was pronounced as Oku. But because the Germans could not pronounce well, they pronounced it as Oku.
Oku.
And that is how it was written, and we have it that way today.
Today.
All right.
The second version of the story states that this unfortunate incident happened but in Oku.
Which incident?
The scrubbing of mud from the walls of the house. That it happened in Oku. This time around, it was not the Nso delegation that came. It was Tata's people and Tul. You know, Tata was speaking the same language as what is spoken in Kumbu. Okay. So it is said that Tata with his delegation met with the Tul people and constructed a house. After hard labor, Tata wanted to be entertained. Then the Tul people said they had nothing. Tata now, in anger, scrubbed mud from the walls of that house.
Where he actually participated in
He
the construction.
participated. His own delegation was in Tul house.
Yes.
He scrubbed the mud. and it was said Vikulaf. Tatas people, you understand, started saying Vikulaf. That is that delegation that destroyed the mud, that scrubbed away mud from the house. And they said that house was being constructed around Tatanka.
All right, so thank you very much. You have actually had the origin of the name Oku, and in fact, it is quite understandable. We hope you are getting it, and in fact, we enjoy your comments as you feel actually happy getting facts. You know that history cannot be changed. History is about facts, and can never twist it, can never change what already happened. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We are going to continue. And Doctor, this time around, you mentioned about Kejem, yes. You know, that's another point of focus. We'd like to know from you, what is the link between Oku and the Kejem people?
Yeah, history tells us that the Kejem people were living at the vicinity of the lake. And it came to pass that there was something as in the form of an eruption.
In the lake?
Yeah, that happened around the lake. And Kejem people died. So many of them died. And since Kejem knew that Oku actually had some, how can I call it, mystical behavior, Oku had medicine, Oku could conjure what and what, they said it was Oku that actually caused the eruption. Many of them migrated to the present day Kejem. And some even migrated into Oku. We know of Faye Balebe, who is actually representing the Kejem people in Oku. And he is part of the Mbele community. Because he migrated to Oku, the other people went down to Jotin, and some went to Nkambe. So the Kejem people that got integrated into Oku is represented by Faye Balebe, Faye Ndifon Nonki.
All right.
Yeah, they are Kejem by origin, but they are Mbele people today.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you again. We just mentioned about Kejem people, and we've often heard stories about the lake, the Kejem people, and the Oku people. And we have gotten some facts. We don't know if they're real. What is actually the brain behind it? Because God, that maybe there was a conflict in that area where they said one fawn should step into the lake, and if one comes out, the area will belong. So we'd like to know from you, Doctor, you clarify us on that.
Yes, that's what I said. I talked about an eruption because I wanted to stay scientific.
Yes.
But if we come down to real history, as it is told by our people, or what people just simply call a myth, yeah, myths do not myths do not appear from space. They are always within us, and they have something to communicate.
All right.
Yes, it is. We are informed that there was a quarrel over the ownership of the lake, where Oku was claiming that it was their lake. I don't want to go down far back to Ma, who came to the palace in Oku, inquired about
we'll handle that someday.
Where to construct. He was shabby. The founder of Oku actually gave him a very nice treatment, give him food, and had to change his dresses, cut his hair, and then he inquired where to settle. The fund spotted several specific spots in Oku for him to settle. He said no, and finally his choice was behind the mountains, where the lake is today. The story tells us that when he got closer to the lake, Kejem people were there. He asked for food. Nobody gave him. He was badly treated. And then one time he decided to remove a leaf that contained water, sprinkled it, and it became the lake.
All right.
Yes, and after that, the Kejem people who survived the flood and were staying at the vicinity were coming back and claiming that it was their lake. And Oku was saying that it is Ma West, our Ma. So at a given point, the decision was that the two fawns were supposed to get into the lake. And it will be settled there by the spirits. The fawn of Oku got into the lake at this western part of it. At the eastern part of it, the Kajem fawn got in. So when they got to the world beyond, the fawn of Oku was poorly treated.
Yes. Was Ma a man or a woman? That's a question coming from a follower.
I cannot tell, but the description they give, it is like Ma was a man. The description doesn't suit a woman at all.
All right.
So they got into, the fawn of Oku was given shabby treatment in the world beyond. That's below the lake. And the fawn of Kajem was given food, nice food, and there were people actually preparing their cutlasses, sharpening them, and measuring them at the neck of the fawn of Oku. All at a sudden, these vicious or mysterious people got to the fawn of Kajem, slaughtered him. Before slaughtering him, they took him to where the fawn of Oku got into the lake. So blood actually emerged where the fawn of Oku got in, and there was a lot of weeping, crying. Then later on, the fawn of Oku came out where the fawn of Kajem went in with the royal crown that we have today, Fununumbo. And the fawn of Kajem emerged in two pieces. And that is when the final migration out of that place took place. And the Kajem people went down to Njini Kajem, crossed and went to where they are, where they founded Kajem Kuku and Kajem Kichingo.
All right.
Meanwhile, the other remnant instead went into Oku.
All right. So, someone is still trying to also say, is Oku and Biame descendants of Saul? I think we clarified that already, but maybe...
No, it should be clear here. When they talk descendants of Saul, if it is the Saul that left Rifam from the Open Bam River, yes.
That means a person.
A person.
Not a tribe.
Not a tribe.
Yes.
The answer is yes. If it is the descendant of Saul that actually came down to Kimbo, the answer is no. Because the dynasty scattered at Kovifam, and nobody was subservient to another.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We encourage you to keep watching, and we are here with Dr. Ntaima, an anthropologist who has studied just a lot and is giving us history. We are talking of facts here. And Oku in Focus, we are right here in Yaoundé to give you facts. We thank all of our followers. Please, you can send your worries to the comment section. Doctor is here, and he has all it takes to clarify all your worries. And
yes, I would like us to throw some light on this. Oku actually is a complex society. Complex in the sense that there is no Ntul land in Oku, there is no Mbele land in Oku, there is no Abzong land in Oku.
yes, we were about to ask you, because we always talk of Ntul, Mbele, Mbulu, and the rest. There's been bringing a lot of confusion. So who actually is supposed to be there and who is not?
No, all of them are supposed to be there. Let me just throw some light on these three clans that make up Oku.
Yes.
Yes, we have Abzong, we have Mbulum, and we have Mbele. When we talk about the Mbele, the Ntul are already there. Let us just be very specific. When we talk about Abzong, the Abzong that belongs to Ntul is the Tatanka branch, Abzong Dito. Is it clear?
Understand.
Then when we are talking about Mbulum, it is that of Mancho. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Yes. We also have other Mbulums, people who migrated later on and got integrated into that clan. We have other Abzong that migrated and got integrated into the Abzung clan. For instance, we have Abzung Reitinge Ndifonsom. He actually migrated from Din, got integrated into Oku before the Mbele take over. So what I was trying to say, to explain is that in Oku, there is no Mbele land, there is no Abzung land, there is no Mbulum land. And get up and say, this part of the fondom belongs to me, and that part belongs to you. When you get up in the morning, you get across Mbele compound, you get into Zoom compound, you get into Mbulum compound, you understand? That is the way Oku land occupancy is. To an extent that nobody can say, no, from this part of the kingdom to this one, we have it or we have it. No. That is how we are. That is how Oku is.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. We have just discovered that we can use today to finish what we actually planned, because we have discovered that you actually have facts, and that is why we are moving and getting to the end. We can use this opportunity to finish everything. We don't know if we are set. We have handled the first part of it. We have handled the second part, and the last part is left. And for the facts that our audience, they are actually ready and anxious to get the information, they are going to beg on you to get the last part if you are prepared.
The integration process.
All right, yes.
No, it is possible.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, as we earlier indicated to you, this is Oku in Focus you are following. Everywhere you are or anywhere you are in any part of the world, it is our platform. It is for you. We are here because you are out there. And of course, we must all collaborate. We must all bring our knowledge together to see how we can keep informing people on everything that's happening. We still want to appreciate Deep Brain, who's in the background. He's actually behind the cameras. Ngangwa Gerbil is also giving some directives. And of course, we have an intellectual, Dr. Ntaima, who has actually given us a lot of clarifications. We are happy for your comments, please. If you have a doubt today about the history of Oku, please, you are free to ask us here, and it is going to be clarified. And that's it. We are moving straight to the last part of the history of Oku, and we are going to know about integration. How did the Oku people integrate in the community, the village society?
Really, the integration process we are talking about here, is the integration of those who came from Kokafum into what is called Oku today. And which mechanism did they use to become one person or one people?
Good.
Yeah. I've earlier talked about the influence in the church.
And we would like to know how, maybe because you know the Oku people came and joined the Ntul people.
Yes.
So I don't know, how did they integrate to form Oku today?
Okay.
Because Oku today is one.
One. As I was saying, the visiting people actually influence the choice of location of institutions by then. I talked about Chiluk, right? I talked about Tanko, I talked about Ikal, I talked about Kim and Toritin. These are areas where the institutions were located, and it was influenced by the visiting population, by Jefon's people, Jefon's children, or by Kokofom people. There were still some unconventional strategies used by the Kokofom people within the community where they were living. I will cite one, the chicken ordeal. The chicken ordeal is something that was practiced all over Africa to predict guilt, whether somebody is guilty or not. You will bear with me that even in Oku, Kwifon will ask for somebody to give a small chicken, right? Okay, I will tell you where that thing came from. So when these people came and got integrated with the Ntul people, they brought this ordeal to predict who is a witch, who has stolen, who has bewitched who. And normally in such a case, you will bring a chicken and they will administer poison to that chicken. If your chicken dies, you are the culprit. Another one was forcing the chicken to cross a narrow stem.
How possible was it that they could give poison to a chicken and it does not die? Was that possible?
It is possible in the mystical world. Mystic. Just understand that it was a technique.
Yes.
So most of the time, history tells us that chicken from two people were dying. And you know, when your chicken dies, which means you have killed somebody, you have bewitched somebody, which means you've stolen or what, you know what befalls you. So most of the time, the people were killed. If your chicken cannot cross the narrow stem, narrow elephant grass stalk, the stem, if it falls, it means you are the culprit and they will eliminate you. And progressively, until people actually fail prey to that type of practice. Secondly, you should understand that the visiting population or the visiting people had a very high statecraft. They came from a more advanced society where leadership qualities were more than those of the host. And that is why the Ntul king, before dying, actually chose somebody from the visiting population to take over as heir to the throne while pending the choice of somebody
So
who has qualities within
the Ntul fund actually chose a stranger.
A stranger, because of the high state, that is statecraft qualities that they had.
Yes.
Governance.
Yes.
Okay. There was also this snare tactics. Reports tell us that in one occasion, during the cutting of traditional grass, Ntul people were bundled out and burnt. It was a trick to reduce their population, and it happened. We are also informed about the complete confiscation of the royal paraphernalia by the visiting population. How did it happen? As I earlier said, Ntul Fon, before dying, actually said, when I look at this man and the way he is organized, I prefer that he will take over from me. And that is how somebody from the Kokofum dynasty, from the Kokofum line, was chosen to be formed after the Ntul.
Yes, can we know the font? Is it possible to know the font that was chosen by the Ntul font to represent him?
Yeah, people talk about, reference is still made to Tata, who others claim to be Nyanya. Okay.
And again, who was that font of Ntul that before he died, he chose a stranger?
It's still the famous Bam Kuntum.
Okay.
It's still the famous Bam Kuntum. Okay.
All right, thank you.
So the things that were confiscated, what we call in Uku Fuantok, was the royal stole, Kaba, the royal insignia, that is the emblem. We still have the trumpet, Kamba. Until people claim that these are things that were taken from them. And when you have them, you are already found. As I earlier said, these are some of the things that the visiting population, tricks that the visiting population were playing, because they were docile kind of people. They were not aggressive. You understand? Gradually, they became integrated into Ntul society, and it was difficult now at a given point to separate them and Ntul people from the visiting population from Ntul. They were the same people.
All right. So that is how Oku got integrated
into
the Ntul
society.
The Ntul society, and from there they have been living together.
They have been living together.
All right.
But still with agitations, because subsequent generations into generation, you understand now, generations always think that their position was confiscated. Meanwhile, the society was organized in the way the visiting population was very intelligent. They organized it in a way that Ntul can never, in any circumstance, take back this royal paraphernalia. How was it done? The Bantok of Ntul, who is Yensan, was actually integrated into the Mbele a clan when Bam Kuntum was no more fun. You know the role played by Yensan, and you know the role played by Menda, who is one of the chiefs around Bo. All rituals are done by them. They are not done by Mbele people who actually came from Kokofum. Mbele people who came from Kokofum are only ruling, they are reigning. Meanwhile, rituals are done by Ntul people, very close to them. And let me tell you one thing, that is why this name, Nga Shantu,
Yes,
came up. Nga Shantu is an invention, from Kokofum people.
all right.
When two people were agitating, they said, no, where are you people are nowhere to be found, because Nga is more than two. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Because Nga is better than two, Nga Shantu. We means you can agitate and go, but so far as we are with Rensanene, we are okay, because he is more than you.
All right. Thank you, Doctor. We have someone here is trying to express a worry. The person says, it's Henry. He says, thank you, Doctor, for this important historical fact. But he has a worry.
Yes.
That it is said that the Mbiame people never reached Kovem. And again, who was Gonso in relation to the Oku and Mbiame?
Thank you, Henry, for that question. As we earlier said, this information is gotten from primary and secondary sources. The secondary sources where we find Gonso are those written by Fire Bastos, who is of late, and some other historians of Nso origin. They talk about Gonso, a certain woman who left a reform. But when you look at what is written in the West region by our Bamum brothers, Ngonso doesn't come out. So there is this confusion between Gonso and So. So if somebody says Mbiame did not reach Kokofom, is the person actually, what he's narrating to us is truncated history. Because Mbiame comes from Jiene. Even at a given point, Mbiame ran away from Fulani raiders and got integrated into Oku. And they were living at Mbejame before going back to Mbiame. So this is the history. The three communities, Mbiame, Oku, and So, and Takum, as I earlier said, are of the Kokofom dynasty. And Kokofom was established after the Reform dynasty of the Opambam. So, Mr. Henry, I think that should be the right version of the history as per our sources.
All right. So, thank you so much, Doctor. We are so happy for all your clarifications this evening, and we equally appreciate all of you who are watching us at this time. In the next 5 minutes, we are going to be concluding this program. And Doctor, how do you feel when you listen to people distorting historical facts?
I earlier said, knowledge, information, data comes from people who are knowledgeable. If you don't go to them and you sit as an intellectual, you are going to fabricate data. You are going to fabricate information. And it will be a kind of a twisted type of a thing. As an intellectual, what we have to do, our role is just to render information, data, knowledgeable, intelligible. That is what we have to do, knowing fully well that we don't create. Data comes from those who are knowledgeable, and those who are knowledgeable might not even be capable to read and write, but they have information to give us. They have data to give us, and we just have to render that data intelligible so that those who can communicate, journalists, those who have been trained to diffuse information, can therefore do it. To enable those who are able to consume information, teachers, lecturers, and many others, developers, to use the information.
All right.
But unfortunately, in our society today, intellectuals create information, thereby distorting a lot of data.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. In fact, the issue of creating information is everywhere because any person wants to say what can suit the community where he or she finds or where he or she is found. And we are so happy that Doctor is talking here with facts, and we are giving you the opportunity that wherever you are free to ask a question and you're going to receive just the right answer from the right source. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Oku in Focus. You're watching, and the program is Know the Details about the Oku History. Our guest remains Dr. Ntaima Peter. He's based in Yaoundé. We have Kwan Emmanuel Khan. Good evening, Doctor. And he's happy for the good history you have given to the people. In fact, he says he's very happy for the clarifications you have given as well as other followers. Doctor, this is Oku in Focus, a social media platform. You have been following us. We are right here with you in Yaoundé at your residence. What words can you dish out to this team of Oku in Focus this evening?
Yeah, with us as a community, we should learn to accept one another. We should continue research, keep bias aside, accusations aside, look forward, continue developing, because I am impressed by what you people are doing. As I earlier said, this information that I have, I cannot diffuse this information. I cannot publish this information. You understand? You have been trained to transmit information. You have been trained to communicate. And I also pray that those who have the information should use it.
All right.
Yeah, when you communicate, they use it.
All right. Doctor, you know, the platform is named Oku in Focus. And with such a program, we can't go without using the words in the Oku language. And it is very important for us to extend greetings to our parents, back there to everyone watching at us from Yaoundé, from all parts of Cameroon and in the whole world. We are so grateful. Here, Chakto Jimorona Rai, Kie program in Nenevin, Sigulu Dr. Ntaima Peter, Wanguku, Nabtan, Yewangwale, Lichin Nabtem, D, Nankege, Na Ibena Sai Bun, Luna de Quat, Kenegalov Suye, Livin, Luna Giata, History, Wanaku, Yatenonjim, and you, Gabku, Sen Lawaya, Ege, yetoninge uku ne lawai di yelku ne kesa chi jike en yote akala konen ye bello to nawajum suige kelenge uku in focus luna sanglesngam ka bemen guye wanda likwelamin din law for a chapter zelku len fen
From Komote, Machake, and likwelamin luna sangle kai ke betundun so lamang wale ne lagel jimadi on fan lo wonoku nama suige nande wablunga lu jeme yomge una taelo so weten jemege yasin fogodiak a chajem so one was in wa kwe na ta no group of one igen nduka nambi ne yasina ajom na ne lobli le su kana bla me la ka gele yasin alu chonda ajuo yasin lo ne de ni ma fo sambok bo wono lo yete yasin lu to man ka ko ngale yasin lu to man ka jing mama yan yasin komna bus ulu kuololo na gai chumulu njina America vo chumulu na gai ndu chinzi be China vo me yan ko ken ka kun no lu ka sun lu se lu di ulu kuo ba lu se lo ye su ken no tumse ke ko nan tie be yasin lu yen fi no lo bom ajilan dun a fo fu se yasin ajilan dun a lo li na ma mo kuo a fom no se yasin ajilan dun yasin ki ko ki mo ma wono be ya ki kan mwene akatum ka kan norwese ki ko fu ne ti musu ko fu bala ga ja bogui ya sin ko chukongeng sa sin chi aselu no we se asin ngeng se ne ya sin ko lolu alise kan nyang la se la se asin ma ja na katum ka lo yu ko yu fu entie en chi ko jung lipelan belga.
And so thank you once more, ladies and gentlemen. That was Dr. Ntaima Peter talking to us right here from Yaoundé. He has been our guest here in Oku in Focus. We want to take this special time to appreciate him in a special way. We have so many intellectuals, but to get them is always easy. And when we contacted him for the first time, he just accepted and said he's ready to work with us in so many aspects. And so in the days ahead, you're equally going to have him in so many aspects that concern Oku, because he has interest in sharing the knowledge out. As I said, Oku, we are supposed to be proud of ourselves, and we are supposed to make sure that we get to the top by being peaceful, by loving one another, and by doing things that can bring development right home. Doctor, once more, we appreciate you for welcoming us this evening.
Please feel free to come at any moment and discuss, so that we discuss together.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, to all of you who watched us this evening. We are so grateful, and we appreciate especially Princess Ngum Janet Bachem. She has often entertained us on this platform with music by dancing. She has been there from the first minute to the last minute, and we appreciate all of you that have been watching us in all parts of the world. We want to take this special time to extend greetings again to D-Brain. He has been behind the cameras. We extend greetings again to Ngangwa Gabriel. He has been directing behind the cameras. And of course, what has been done here today is going to be documented. We are going to make sure that the program of today is going to be found in CDs. We are going to have the hardware and the software of it, so that everywhere you are going to access it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Have trust in us. We are going to enter anywhere to give you the right information. History remains history, and it cannot be changed. What happens, happened, and what did not happen, did not happen. You cannot add history, you cannot subtract history. Thank you so much for being there. My name is Kwei Nathaniel, the host and the coordinator of the platform Oku in Focus, where we promote culture, where we share information relating to Oku and the environment, where we try to push development ahead, and equally, where we promote the talents of young people, as well as any person who is doing anything which can take Oku to the top. Thank you for watching live from Yaoundé. Other interesting programs will be coming up in the days ahead. Remain blessed. Meanwhile, tomorrow evening, we are going to be attending the launching of Lemgan by DC Ukul. We shall equally be live there. And on Sunday, as from 12 noon, that's 12 in the afternoon, we are going to be receiving special gospel artist from Oku, that is Hope in Christ, who is equally going to be discussing on another pertinent issue, and is going this time around to be on how can we bind culture and religion. We all know that some of us in Africa, we have embraced the white man culture and we're almost forgetting our own. We have often had clashes between religion and culture. Some religious bodies don't want to hear about culture, and some cultural bodies don't want to hear about religion. How can we blend the two to make sure that there is peace and sustainability? In fact, it is going to be a hot debate this coming Sunday at exactly 12 noon, as we're going to be receiving Hope in Christ and Mother Stella. That's it. Thank you so much. It has been amazing with all of you. We are happy with all our fans. In fact, together we can go higher. Remember, one hand cannot tie a bundle, and when we bring our efforts together, we are going to achieve so many things. As Doctor said, we keep away hatred, we embrace peace, we love one another. Anything which can bring negativity, we stay off it and see how together we can bring development and peace, which is highly needed in our various areas. Thank you. Have a blessed evening, and see you next time in our subsequent editions. Bye-bye and good night to all of you.